This episode of the Shop Show is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Hell yeah, I'm ready, Chin. It is Monday morning, April 15th. Your boy worked out at 5 a.m. I got energy. I was excited to get here because it's UFC 300 recap. Bum, 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 bum. It's 9 o'clock. We'll see how long I can keep this pace up at. I'm going to crash hard. About an hour, when we're doing Finally Killed Chael Sonnen, your boy's going to crash. Just kidding. Psych! Yeah, dude, let's just get into it. That's why you are all here. Did I go to the movies yesterday and see Godzilla with my son? I did. Did he wear a Godzilla mask the whole time and sweat his ass off? He did. And he's 4. It was insane. I couldn't believe he did it. But he did it, man. Am I finally picking up my TRX from Magnuson today? I am. 5 weeks later. That's the car business. But I'm excited, dude. So let's just jump right into this thing. It's UFC 300 recap, and this thing is going to get freaking spicy on your ass. That's right. Like a Taco Bell burrito, I'm coming out of your ass hot, baby. And listen. There was a fight companion, Calabasas fight companion, with Mayhem Miller, Chris D'Elia, Brian Callen. I got to be honest. I was all day at the racetrack. I was exhausted. Thought about canceling it. We booked this thing on the last minute. Everyone said, let's do this one. All right, let's do it. We did it. I had so much freaking fun. It was a great crew. Hopefully that's the crew moving forward all the time. I had so much fun. Even though Chris doesn't know fighting, he makes me laugh so goddamn hard. And then Mayhem Miller brings great insight. He's such a perfect, he's not a guy that tries to step on the jokes or he just does his thing, lays back. He's really good at it. And of course, my brother from a very old, smaller mother, Brian Callen, is always the best. But even Chris, and even Mayhem's a little more reserved, in this thing because he's new to kind of this world. So he's a little more reserved. But when Max Holloway knocked out Justin Gaethje, you couldn't help but go bonkers. I'm 41 with 3 kids. I was so shocked about what I saw that I started running around the goddamn studio. I started playing Duck, Duck, Goose like it was 3rd grade, and I had a crush on Mrs. Famularo, and I was playing Duck, Duck, Goose and hitting all my friends. It was and you've seen a lot of reactions. This one's pretty good. If you haven't seen the full fight companion, it's available right now on Thick Boy YouTube right now. It's a good one. It's a fun one. It's a special one because it's UFC 300. You going to play this, Chin?
Yeah, let's play it.
Are we allowed to play this? Psych! It's mine. You never know, though. You never know, man.
Oh my God!
Chris's face, it's like he knew fighting and bet on Justin Gaethje. His face makes the video. It's so random. Look at Brian. Oh no, because I didn't like that Max. He's clearly up on the scorecards. One moron judge had it even 2-2. Do you know this? One moron judge might be blind. Not sure. Have to look into it. Might be Fauci. But one judge who doesn't know shit might be Fauci. What he did is he had it tied 2-2 going to the 5th. All good. He knocked him out. But for the rest of the world, 99.9% of the world, Max Holloway was up on the cards and he could have coasted this fight. And the last, 15, 20 seconds, he calls him to the middle of the octagon and decides to just let it all hang out, caution to the wind, and just freaking let the hands fly. Let the hands fly. I know we usually start from the bottom top, but we can't. We can't because what Max Holloway did, called it. What Max Holloway did, called it. Called it. What's crazy about this fight, called it. What's crazy about this fucking fight is when it was announced, I did not like it. I was like, oh my God, this seems so desperate. They're trying to come up with fights with 300 because there wasn't a lot of announcements, right? So they announced this. I just didn't like it because we've seen Max go up that weight at 55. Granted, he had short notice and he fought Dustin Poirier, but still, I just wasn't crazy about it because I absolutely love Max, and I always feel like we got to protect him at all cost. He's a complete legend, and he has a lot of fight left in him. And I was worried that this fight was gonna steal some of that away, steal some of that Max blessed Holloway Hawaiian energy away, and we can't have that. So I didn't like the fight, and I was pretty vocal about that in the whole 300 card. And so as it went on, and they started announcing the rest of the fights, I slowly went, that might be my favorite fight on the card. I kind of dig it. I was starting to lean towards it. I was like, that could be a really fun, exciting fight. Definitely the fight I'm looking forward to most. And I sat back. And then I watched Max Holloway's fight against Dustin Poirier. I went, okay, there's some good takeaways here. Now he has more time. I like his chances a little more now. Told my friends, not a bad bet. I wouldn't bet the house on it, but not a bad bet if he comes with the right game plan. And then Max, I think on his YouTube channel, goes, I hear all the people saying, I shouldn't have taken this fight and done this. He goes, but that's you. Don't limit me. And I went, oh, he's right. He's not like us that everything's calculated and, risk analysts and all this stuff. He's Max Holloway. And most elite guys are like that. I went, oh, he's right. And that gave me even more confidence. He can do this. My exact prediction was that Max was going to stay on the outside. Like he did, stay on the outside and avoid the big punches from Justin Gaethje and just kind of beat him that way and beat him by decision. Didn't call a knockout with 1 second left. Do we know anybody that did? Me neither. No. So I just think the argument of why this is the greatest knockout in UFC history, maybe combat sports history, definitely UFC history, is because you got to realize that the arguments that you have that this isn't the greatest, and I'm sure people will say Ben Askren, Masvidal with the flying knee. Yeah, that's a great one. Definitely up there, top three. I could go through 10 for you, and you can have an argument, but let's go through kind of three top ones. So the argument would be Ben Askren and Masvidal. Okay, but let's see what's at play here. Older Ben Askren, one-dimensional wrestler, and it was 15 seconds in the fight. Not much of a fight. Great knockout, spectacular, but older Askren. Okay. The best argument, I think, would be Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor. Conor, we found out after the fact, predicted exactly how this was going to go. He knocked him out, whatever it was, in 19 seconds. It was for the title, 45, but it was 19 seconds. So it's just different. It's just completely different. And I'll see some people argue that the Buckley kick, no, because you think about who he's fighting. Who is he fighting? Doesn't matter, right? Never heard of him. Don't even know if he's still in the UFC. And that's a fight night. The other argument would be Yair Rodriguez, Korean Zombie. That was a fight night in Denver at 2:00. And what were the stakes? And who was he fighting? Korean Zombie? Legend. Will he get to the Hall of Fame? Probably. One of his fights where he is, but as an independent, will he get to the Hall of Fame? Maybe. Compared to Justin Gaethje, and this is no disrespect to Korean Zombie. I know we all love him. Compared to Justin Gaethje, though, not comparable. Also, all these fights we're mentioning, even Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, boring fight. He's down on the scorecards. Then he pulls off that head kick. It was for a title. Great. This is all great. This is why Max's fight against Justin Gaethje is labeled, according to me and maybe a few others, as the greatest knockout ever in UFC history. Remember, Max is a 145er. Came up to 55. Not even his division. Came up to 55. Now, before the fight, if I told you I can guarantee Max is going to win, you would be like, okay, by decision? Yeah, we all thought decision. If I told you that in the end of one of the rounds, Max was just going to stand in the middle of the cage and trade recklessly, and you could bet on it, I didn't tell you what round. Didn't tell you how far into a round. If I just said, hey, I talked to Max, he said at some point in this fight, he promises, he guarantees me, he's going to walk to the middle of the octagon and throw caution to the wind and trade shots with Justin Gaethje. Who would you bet on? Is anybody in here betting on Max Holloway? No, including me. He beat Justin Gaethje at his own game, the human highlight. Knocked him out, just not like a TKO. You're talking walk-off, home run, end of the fight, KO.
Face down. It was
face down, ass up. We've never seen Justin Gaethje get knocked out like that. Max Holloway's really not known as a knockout artist, more of a volume guy. He's knocked guys out, Korean Zombie, some other guys, but never to this extent. Never a guy of Justin Gaethje's caliber. But if I told you, I can guarantee you he's going to go to the middle of that octagon, point to the middle of the octagon, and trade shots with Justin Gaethje, what do you think the DraftKings odds would be? Of who? And I said, and somebody's going to get knocked out. I can guarantee you a knockout, and they go and trade shots in the middle octagon. What do you think the DraftKings odds would be? I bet Max would be a plus 4,000. Everyone put money on Justin Gaethje. It's what he does. It's where he thrives. So not only did he do that, but he did that knowing he was up on the scorecards.
Yeah.
At least 3-1. You probably give Justin the fourth round. But he's never in jeopardy of losing the fight. He was clearly winning this fight. Throws that all out the window, being Max Holloway. This is why he's different. What would I have done? I would have gotten my bike. I would have gotten my bike, secured the win, move on. But I'm not Max Holloway. Neither is 99% of the UFC roster. That is insane, dude. Insane. It's the greatest knockout in UFC history. Not to mention, he didn't do it on a fight night. He didn't do it on some random card. He did it on the historical UFC 300 and got 2 bonuses. He got $600K in bonus money. That's why it's the greatest knockout of all time.
And 1 second left. That was like a movie.
1 second left.
Yeah.
If you wrote that, the Hollywood script, if you wrote that, the director, it's too on the nose, man. No one's going to believe this. It's too on the nose. It's too on the nose. It wasn't a flash knockout. It wasn't a 15-second knockout like some of those other ones were mentioned. It's 1 second left against the human highlight, bona fide first ballot Hall of Famer. He beat him at his own game when he was already up on the scorecards at UFC 300. He outshined everybody on the card. There's never been a card with more champions, more superstars ever. And he got 2 bonuses. So what's your argument for the best knockout in the UFC? Oh, wait. It's by far the best. By far. Not even close. Nothing's made me react that way. Nothing. Nothing. Insane. One of the best moments of my entire life covering this sport, which I've been doing for a hot freaking second. Been involved in it. I've been knocked out. I've knocked guys out. I've been around it a long time. I've never seen anything like that. It's the greatest thing I've seen in UFC history. That's why it's the greatest knockout.
Agree.
It was fantastic. Fantastic. Let's take a little break of me ranting about UFC 300 because this episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by DraftKings. I told you they'd come on back during this episode if you listen to the pre-roll. The 82-game preseason is in the books, and it's finally time for the real season. That's right. You mean Nuggets seasons, DraftKings. Don't miss out on any of the NBA playoff action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Teams are so good. The West is stacked, baby. My Nuggets are going to get it done. From the play-in tournament through the finals, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with the same-game parlays, live betting, odds boost, and so much more. The Lakers have a playoff. They're in the playoff knockout round. The Lakers aren't going to get finished this early. I like the Lakers to bet on early on in this knockout round. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook. And, of course, I like the Nuggets to go all the way. Don't get it twisted. Joker's the best player in the NBA. Definitely MVP. Don't be a hater. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use code SCHAUBSHOW. New customers bet $5. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code SCHAUBSHOW only at DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem?
Chin, take it away.
Me, really?
Yeah.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, Casey, that's where you're from, dude. Pay attention. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Ontario, no. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.co/bball for eligibility, deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. DraftKings, promo code SCHAUBSHOW. This episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly, they're in the business of keeping your car on the frickin' road. O'Reilly's Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and parts knowledge you'll need for all your maintenance and repairs. Auto Parts at O'Reilly's is the best of the best. I have a 20-year-old frickin' truck. I've had many issues with it, and O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts in stock. If not, they might be in the back. If not, they order them. I get it the next day. They've got thousands of parts, accessories in stock, either in store or online, like I told you, so you never have to worry if you're in a jam. They got you covered. The team at O'Reilly Auto Parts can test your battery for free, in, out of your car, doesn't matter. If it needs to be replaced, cool. They got you. They'll find the right battery for your vehicle. Whatever you need, they got you covered. Whether you're a car expert or a freaking rookie, you'll find employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, super friendly. Professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts are your one-stop shop for all things auto, do-it-yourself, and you can find what you need in-store or online. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit them at O'ReillyAuto.com/Schaub. That's SCHAUB. O'ReillyAuto.com/Schaub. How's UFC 300 stack up compared, right? The argument was it's not as good as 100, 200, right? So in hindsight, how's it stack up? I would give it the silver medal. I would give it second place. UFC 100, I think, was better, but not the UFC 200 was worse than this overall. I would say this is second. UFC 100 still takes the cake. UFC 100's main card was better. UFC 200's main card was better as far as before the fights. Now, as far as action goes and excitement, I think 100 was better, and I'll give 300 second place. But it definitely delivered. It's tough because there's so much expectations on it. I think part of the issue is just the lay of the land because the way they set this thing up, right? Bo Nickel came out against Cody Brundage, didn't blow the doors off of anything. Also, what kind of hurt that is maybe not the casual fans, but if you watched from 3 o'clock with Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt all the way up to the main event of the prelims, Yuri versus Rakic, Yuri Rakic was your fight of the night until Max Holloway. And if there was no Max Holloway fight like that they would have got fight of the night. They still got a bonus, but it would have been your for sure bona fide fight of the night. So you have that excitement. Bo comes out, huge favorite. He's UFC's, next darling. UFC loves him. And he dominated, but not like we expected. So it was a little bit of a letdown. It's like, all right. Then Arman, Charles Oliveira, you had the split decision. You would give Charles the first round, definitely not the second, definitely not the third. So that and the issue I have with that should have been 5 rounds. I think if that's a 5-round fight, Charles could have won that fight. So I just don't think you can award a guy a title shot beating Charles in 3 rounds, and he was in a lot of trouble. And he didn't blow us away, right? He almost got any other person would have been submitted in that first round, but that should be a 5-round fight. It's a disservice to make that 3 rounds. It's a disservice to Arman. It's a disservice to Charles Oliveira, especially Charles Oliveira and his body of work. That should have been a 5-round fight. I think he could have won that fight. I think if they fight again, especially at 5 rounds, Charles beats him. That being said, Dana did say I don't know if Dana said, but it did come out that Dana offered Arman the title shot against Makhachev right after the fight, and Arman turned it down. We can get into that later. for Max Holloway. So you had Bo. You're like, man, I was expecting a little more. I thought I was going to really mop this guy up. Didn't. Still passed the test. But I think what we're realizing now is the UFC is different than it was 5 years ago. It's different even for sure 10 years ago. Everybody's pretty damn good. So Bo has slowly been brought up. But you get to a certain level, and Cody Brundage is, I think he has 16 fights in the UFC. He's 10-6. You get to a certain point where everybody's pretty damn good. So for Bo Nickel, you got to give him the rank guys. Because you're going to get to a certain level, especially in that weight class, where everyone's good. So if he's going to have a hiccup, wouldn't you have rather seen Bo Nickel struggle against Hamzat? And still get the win, but wouldn't you rather see him struggle against Strickland or, Cannonier, something like that? Everyone's pretty damn good at this point. So I liked how they've slowly built him up. They did it with Sugar. They've done it with Patty. They've learned their lesson, how they kind of ruined Darren Till. When it comes to Bo Nickel, at this point, if you're giving him a UFC vet who's 10-6, just give him a rank guy. Because if that would have been a big boy in the division, no one's saying anything. We're like, damn, Bo's good, man. Only that many fights? So if he would have struggled like that against Strickland or Cannonier or Paulo Costa or Whitaker, insert anybody in the top 15, even the top 20, we're not as let down. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That's a tough. Damn, he still won, though. So I think the point is you get to a certain point where if you're going to give them these guys they're all damn good. They're all good. And yeah, but Bo's going to have some adversity here. He's going to struggle a little bit. It's a fight. It's a fight. If he was just steamrolling through everybody, then it's just bullying. But this is a competition, and I realize you got to bring him up slow and introduce him to the fan base, but do it off another big name guy. At this point, we've seen him warm up. He's destroyed everyone. We know he's not at that level. But Cody Brundage is going to give anybody a good fight. The guy has some fucking skills. He's a veteran from Colorado, so he's going to be tough. So it's kind of a disservice to Bo Nickel. If you can put on the main card and you don't want the backlash of people saying he doesn't deserve it, and Cody Brundage, he's a massive favorite. This isn't cool. Yeah, I'm with you. They didn't do him any favors there. They didn't do him any favors at all. I'm thinking about his last fight. He won KO slam. He won his last fight before that. He's not a guy that you're gonna walk over. Yeah, so for Cody with 11 fights in the UFC, he's a vet. He's doing something right. He's keeping his job. He's gonna have the skill set where he's gonna give anybody problems, whether it's the champion or it's the number 50 guy. He's not a guy that you're just gonna steamroll through. So I think for Bo, the learning lesson here is at the level you're at, you gotta fight names. Everybody's gonna be tough. You're not the days of you just walking through everybody, that's over. Guys are tough. Especially in 2024, everyone can do a little bit of everything. So they did him a disservice, but the point is I think maybe the reason I felt UFC 300 was tad of a letdown, even though my expectations were insane, which isn't fair to the UFC because it's a great card. But you got to realize you had Yuri versus Rackett fight of the night, and then the main card starts. You're like, here we go. And then Bo doesn't perform like you thought he should have. Okay, so you kind of let down. Then Arman Charles goes to decision, like, okay, man, let's get going here. And then Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje show up.
Insane.
And you get, fight of the year, best knockout ever. And you're like, oh my, this is insane. That was worth it alone. They could have just stopped there and I've been happy. And then poor Zhang and Yan come out. And it wasn't that it was a bad fight. It's just there's no one that could have followed that. There's no one. So it was the structure of the main card of why maybe you feel like I do, where it was this kind of letdown. That should have never been the co-main event in the first place. So they're doing disservice to Zhang and Yan there. So even though, it was a fun fight, even though it should have been over in the first round because she choked her out, and then Yan got smelling salts. I don't know the rules, but I've never seen that. I think it's illegal. But either way, it should have been done in the first round. But it's tough. It's tough when you go Bo Nickel, Arman, Charles, Max, Justin, and then you have the two women's strawweight. It's just tough. That fight, I know it's a title fight, so it has to be high up on the card. Should have been on another card, even in Brazil. But on this lineup, that fight should have been in the prelims, to be honest. As far as skill-wise, compared to the rest of them, now this isn't a sexist opinion. This is skill-wise, not close on this card. Should not have been the co-main event. And it was, I mean, it was an entertaining fight, sure. But skill-wise, come on. And then you get to so take out Zhang and Yan, right? Just remove that from this card. So if you would have had Bo, you're like, oh man, Arman, you're like, all right, we'll take it. You have Max Justin. Holy shit, you're riding high. Oh my God, here comes, and then you take out that co-main event, and then you have Alex and Jamal. You get that quick knockout. That's a good night. Now the overall performance might be better than UFC 100. But that co-main event and the Arman being 3 rounds, the Bo Nickel not living up the hype, it's not better than UFC 100. It's just not. And then what Alex and Jamal Hill called it. Alex and Jamal called it.
Coffin.
The main event of UFC 300, Alex and Jamal, even I didn't. It is what it is. But there's a lot of pushback. Like, this is the main event because you knew it wasn't their first choice. But Alex, when the lights are bright and that mat is hot, that dude shows up. And I'm a huge fan of Jamal Hill, and I think he's so talented. But when you're coming off a 15-month layoff and you have a blown Achilles playing basketball, and the UFC rush you back early. We know it's early. There's no way, whether it's his manager, was Jamal. I know they're going to say, no, I felt fine in there. Cool. There's no way these were optimal conditions to fight a guy of Alex Pierre's level. It's impossible. So even if Jamal at 100%, which he was not, I guess he had a broken toe as well. That's a different conversation. So he had a broken toe going the fight. He was an Achilles heels recovery they come back to. Even at 100%, I wouldn't favor Jamal over Alex. And then you're going to tell me that he's compromised and rushed back early just to headline UFC 300 because they've went after 5 other fighters? Oh, I'll take Alex for 5,000. And that's what happened. And this was a cakewalk for Alex. Cakewalk. They fight 10 times, he knocks him out 10 times probably like that. This was a cakewalk. And the legend of Alex Pierre just continues to grow. And the UFC, as far as matchmaking, boy, they're being smart with him. God dang, they're being smart with him. And Alex said he'd like to fight on UFC Brazil.
Card, yeah.
You know what you do if UFC? You do whatever he asks. That's what you do. You do whatever the fuck he wants to do. He's earned it. Max Holloway, you do whatever the fuck he wants to do. They've earned it. That's what you do. Whatever Max wants to do, you're going to do it. Whatever Alex wants to do, you're going to do it. They delivered on their end at UFC 300. Those 2 gentlemen saved UFC 300 alone. They were the number one reason we all bought the pay-per-view. You're going to do what these boys want to do. And that's a rare, rare incident for the UFC. Now, Alex says he wants to go out heavyweight. Danny goes, I don't know if it's the right move for him. You're going to give Alex a heavyweight fight. You're going to do, I'll say this again, what he wants to do. So if Alex wants to go to heavyweight and fight in whatever UFC Brazil is, how many weeks away is UFC Brazil? Awful card. Now you're telling me that your wiener wouldn't go, what are we talking about? If you found out that Alex was part of UFC Brazil, which is May 4th, not far away. Not far away at all. You're telling me you wouldn't be interested? Now, he wants to fight at heavyweight. I side with Dana when he goes, there's some monsters at heavyweight. You're talking about John Jones. You're talking about Aspinall. Aspinall's a awful matchup for Alex. I can't emphasize awful. But if he wants to do it, you do it, dude. He deserves it. You never know what could happen in this game. And Alex is so damn talented. Don't limit him. I'm done limiting certain guys. Certain guys I'm going to limit. But Alex, Max, no. Take the leashes off. You're going to do what they want to do. So Dana goes, I don't know if it's the right move for him. Cool, dude. But you owe it to him. Now, if he fights at UFC Brazil, and let's say he wants to fight at heavyweight, because then he doesn't have to cut the weight. It's a super fast return to the octagon. So heavyweight makes sense. This is why I like heavyweight for him, but not against Aspinall. Not now. Let's have him get his beak wet and fight a guy in the top 15 who's a striker. Let me see the UFC rankings, Chin. That'd be great.
Hold on.
So if we go to heavyweight.
Heavyweight or
Heavyweight.
there we go.
John Jones, not happening. Tom Aspinall, not happening. Cyril Gane, take my fucking hard-earned money. I'll take that. I will take that. That's a mother trucking fight. Pavlovich, why not? Take my money. Stipe, out. Chris Blades, out. Volkov, out.
Yeah.
Almeida, stop. Tibera, no. Tai Tuivasa, take my money. He's coming off a loss, though, so probably not.
4th loss, too, I think.
Rosenstruck, take my money. Guy, we know he's not, we know he's not going to trade. We know he's not going to try to grapple and do all that shit. He's gonna strike with him. So you can go Rosenstruck. Derek Lewis is headline Kansas City, so he's out. The rest of the guys, no. We have to have somewhat of a name here. Derek Lewis would be a good one, but he's doing that main event. They could give it to Buckley and put Derek Lewis on the Brazil card. Take my money. My top 3 for Alex to fight in Brazil, which is May 4th, would be number 1, Cyril Gane. World class. And think if he beats Cyril Gane. He beats Cyril Gane? I mean, what? Be the first ever to have a chance at being the first 3 divisional champion? Let me ask you this. Why not? Who are you to limit Alex? Who are you? Why not? If you're Dana, why not? Tell me why not. Why not? He's done everything that he can. He shows up. He delivered for 300. Why not give him Cyril Gane? Tell me in what facet that's this huge mismatch. I'll wait. I will wait. One of them's a 2-time Glory kickboxing champion. And I hate to tell you, he's not from France. I like that fight. I like Cyril Gane, Alex. Pavlovich, why not? Too slow. I think he can beat him. And then Rosenstruck. Tai Tuivasa would be fun, but he's coming off that knockout loss. But Rosenstruck would be fun. Pavlovich, and then Cyril Gane. UFC Brazil.
The Cyril is like probably the best so far because they're both great strikers, so it'd be fun.
Pavlovich don't punk either.
Of course not.
Rosenstruck at 11. I like that as a appetizer.
The Cyril's 2, so that's like after that title.
That's a big boy move. That's a big boy move. Yeah, the again, I'm not going to limit Alex. The only hesitation with it, and I get Dana too, like Tom Aspinall's, that's a tough one. Mm-hmm. I do think he could beat Stipe early on if he lands. Chris Blades, I don't like that.
No.
The grappling.
No.
The only, if we're playing devil's advocate, Alex does get hit. When it comes to Alex, when you break it down, the only kind of knock on that you could argue is his defense. At heavyweight, take it from your boy. That's why I look like this and think like this. If you make a mistake, it's over. A light heavyweight can get a little bit away with it, a tad. Middleweight, a little bit. Heavyweight, you can't. There's only one way you learn, and that's, by waking up on the canvas. Like, oh, I should have zigged when I zagged. So that's the only hesitation there. So we got to be smart about it because you don't want to diminish this star because he is massive. Mm-hmm. But I like Cyril Gane. I like Rosenstruck the best.
That's a good one, yeah.
Especially this short notice. I think he absolutely lights him up. But again, the defense is a little alarming there, but who are we to limit Alex? Let's take another little break here because this episode of the Schaub Show breaking down UFC 300 is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Let's face it, we all need insurance, but it can be overwhelming when you dip your toe into that insurance pool, it is a lot. And you might be like, oh, it's just too much. But Progressive Insurance, they got you covered because they make it super easy. Give their nifty comparison tool a try. You might just find getting the rate and coverage you deserve is easier than you thought. All you need to do is visit Progressive website, get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive, collision coverage, or personal injury protection. Then you'll see Progressive Direct Rate. Their tool will provide options from other companies all lined up. Super simple, super clean, ready to compare, so it's simple to choose the rate and coverages you like. Press play on comparing auto rates right now. Quote at progressive.com to join over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. Progressive Insurance. Enjoy. This episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by Shopify. When I started podcasting, an online store was furthest thing from my mind. I had a lot of other fires to put out. Then your boy started selling Fire in the Kid merch out of my garage, printing, shipping. Me and my brother were doing it out of a freaking garage. Someone said, you should try Shopify. It's so easy. And they said, that's all I use. I went, what? They went, yeah, we got you covered, man. Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way. Did we just hit a million order stage? Shopify is there to help you grow. Whatever you're doing, they got you when it comes to sales online. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, up to 36% better compared to other leading commerce platforms, and help you sell more fast. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify's global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's extensive help resources are there to support your success every step of the way. Because business that grow, they do it with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period. Ready for this? At shopify.com. Pay attention. /Schaub, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase, now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Schaub. Shopify. Cha-ching. And who are we to limit Max?
Yep, that's what he said.
So if Max wants to fight Makhachev, you let him fight Makhachev. That's what you're going to do. You let him fight Makhachev. Now, is that the smartest thing to do for Max? No. I think Topuria is the bigger name and bigger fight, and I think it would do better on pay-per-view. And I think, again, I'm not going to limit Max. Can he beat Makhachev? Absolutely. But if you look at the odds, if you go to DraftKings, promo code Schaub, you go to the odds, who do you think he's going to have a better chance of beating? Topuria, who fancies himself a boxer. Well, I know a guy who also not only fancies himself a boxer, but he labels himself as the best boxer in the UFC, and I co-sign that. Now, Topuria, you think you're a good boxer. Let's tango. And is it going to happen in Spain? Absolutely not. Of course not. We're going to have to do this probably at the Apex. Opening odds for potential future fights. So Max will be a plus 130. And Topuria is a minus 150. That means it's a close damn fight. Max against Islam Makhachev is a plus 425. Islam's a minus 600.
And this is from Aaron Bronstetter.
If you're the BMF and then you win like the 45 title, is that a double champ? Does the BMF count as double?
No, I mean, I used to never put too much weight in the BMF. I'm like, all right, it's just UFC trying to get, another angle here for marking, and I do like it. But what Max represents, like that BMF, they shouldn't call it the BMF title anymore. They should call it the Max Holloway title. Or they should just stop doing it. It's over. What Max done, nobody will ever outdo. They should just go away with it, come up with another belt, They should just stop doing it after this. And that the BMF, like Max, embodies that to a T. He's down to fight Francis Ngannou. He's down to fight Makhachev. He's down to fight Hamzat. He's down to fight Bo Nickel. Like, that's what BMF is to me. And I never took it that serious. I was like, okay, here we go. But what Max did, like, that embodies what that award should be, what that title should be. but even the UFC doesn't recognize it as a legit shot. I shouldn't say a shot, as a legit title, because you don't get pay-per-view points. So if the UFC wants to add that to the list of championships, they should acknowledge and Max should get pay-per-view points, especially moving forward now. Because now, like really before, that belt didn't mean too much. Like, okay, it's fun, BMF, Rock did his thing, blah, blah, blah. But now it's different. Now it's different. What Max did made this thing different. So I think for Max, if he goes to 45, that BMF title, that is Max. And they need to acknowledge that and give him the pay-per-view points on it. It's just who Max is. They won't. They definitely won't. But if you were to go to 45, yeah, it's just we all know it, but they don't get paid like they're the champion. They should. Max should. But yeah, they go to 45. It's just for the championship. Like that BMF title, that's a lifetime of work title. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like that's who Max is. And I never really, I don't want to say respected it, but I was just like, oh, it's just this kind of marketing tool they're using. The casuals go, another belt on the line? BMF, fuck yeah. Hand me another Bud Light. But now it means something because Max has it. And Max proved he's the BMF. There's nobody more qualified. He's the guy. Forever. He should fight Topuria.
You said, give Max whatever he wants. What if he wants Conor for the BMF?
You do that at 55. I bet Max, again, that because Max embodies this BMF, I bet Max would even meet Conor at 170. And now that Max has done this, he's set. His legacy's set for life. Even if he goes over to Spain, let's say he did at the Apex or in the T-Mobile Arena, and he fought Topuria and he loses, say he gets knocked out or whatever, loses by decision, at this point he's set. So the Conor fight's still there because he's set. What he did Saturday night has made him there's levels, and it put him at this different level. And it's what he did. It's so hard to, at his age and his experience, it's so hard to kind of get that boost in your career. That's another reason why it's the greatest knockout of all time. He went from Max Holloway, where he's beloved. We all love Max. And what he's done, you look at the list of names who he's beat and how he's done it, and just he's the guy, man. He's just that guy. But we were kind of, remember when he fought Arnold Allen? Remember he fought the young Arnold Allen, who's a savage. And people were like, oh, Arnold's fighting a washed up Max, and then Max beat him, and people were like, oh God, Arnold's not that guy. He lost to Max Holloway. You remember those days? That was like 6 months ago. Remember those days? So there was that kind of thing with Max. And then his losses to Volkanovski, right? There's 3 of them. We're like, oh, Max had a great career. And you put him to the side and, you're sucking off Patty Pimlet or whatever the hell you're doing as a casual. So for Max to not only capitalize on UFC 300, but revamp his career, and now he's the guy that calls the shots, to assume this or to bank on this, I'm sure him and his team didn't, but the chances of this happening are damn near 0. That's another reason why this is the greatest knockout in combat sports history. What his career is supercharged to a point now where he's up there with the Conors, the Nate Diaz. They call their shot. They call the John Jones. They call their shots. It's hard enough to have a career in the UFC. Just being a guy, winning 1, losing 2, winning 2, losing 2, that's a career, and that's tough. It's even more rare to hold a title. Damn near impossible. It's almost impossible to get a title shot at this level. It is so goddamn rare. So for Max Holloway to go through all that, and he's gone through the ups and downs, and he's beat some of the very best to ever do it, and he's had these great performances, for him to have this resurgence in his career and do it in this way is so goddamn special. I can't emphasize enough. Even psychics are like, didn't see this coming. It's wild. and it couldn't happen to a better person. Think about Max Holloway. You ever heard Max Holloway say a bad thing about anybody ever? And this day and age, when the Conor McGregors of this world, who Conor's a special one, right? He does his thing. But you think about everybody else who's kind of copying Conor, and you think what Strickland does, and even Patty and these guys you think of Sugar hyping up fights and how nasty it gets, and Izzy. Think of all the big names, and we love them. And I'm not saying I disagree with what they do. It's working. Max has never done that. Never. Always respectful. Great dad. Dime piece wife. He's in Hawaii. He'll fight whoever, whenever. Wild, dude. Wild. But the tide is slowly turning. Tide's slowly turning, because think about the other superstar on this card, Alex. You ever hear Alex do any weird shit or bring up, you think of, what was going on with Ian Gary, all that horrible toxic shit, the world we live in, the social media and all that. You ever heard Alex say a bad thing about anybody? These guys are solely focused on fighting. They're solely focused on being professionals. It's refreshing. Tough to do. You got to win, and god dang is it tough, especially and the odds are against you. Because even those guys that talk all that stuff, when they lose, they still have that fan base. See what Colby Covington's doing. So we're in this day and age of that's what get clicks, and you build your name, you get the Instagram following, you're doing the TikTok dances, and you have random girls, and you're doing the Dylan Dennis stuff. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but as a dad, I don't want my kids looking up to those guys. No, don't do that. Even though it's a character, most of these guys are great people. No. It's only in the UFC they do that. All other sports, they don't do that. They don't. It's a very WWE type of thing, and it blurs the lines. And again, I get it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, and get yours. But I'm saying, if my son goes, Dad, who should I look up to? Oh, that's easy. Isn't John Jones the greatest? Don't look up to him. Not right now. When he's in the octagon, can look up to him. Outside, don't look up to him. All right, Dad, what about Dylan Dennis? Isn't he great at jiu-jitsu? No. Well, Colby Covington, love him, but no. Conor, tough. Sean Strickland, I agree with a lot of it, but tough. You go through it. There's not a lot of guys that you can, as a follower, you can go, do what he does. In and outside the octagon, do what he does. Max Holloway represents that.
Yeah.
Max Holloway's that guy. Alex Pierre's that guy. Bo Nickel's that guy. There's a few guys who aren't subscribing to this new toxic kind of shit-talking thing to get likes and clicks and to get main events. You never hear it from Max. His skills are what gets him the fights. His performances is what got him here. His hard work, never miss weight, his dedication, constantly getting better. That's what makes Max Holloway special. That's what makes Alex special. Think of what Alex has done. I know I'm jumping around, but think about what Alex has done in a short career. Gives me goosebumps. It's wild. It's fucking wild. Because remember, the only reason we heard of this dude is because he was the guy who beat UFC's biggest, brightest star at the time, Izzy. He was in the favelas in Brazil. You've never heard of him. And then we got rumblings. On the show, there's a current event. I think, you know the guy that beat Izzy? He's doing MMA. And went, His goal's to fight Izzy in the UFC. I think even I was like, good luck with that. This guy's just harping on beating Izzy. And what happens? Starts running off some wins. You go, Yeah, but he's just a striker. He'll get beat before he gets to Izzy. Nope. Not at all. And you didn't see him talking smack and doing TikToks and all this shit. You never saw that. And what has he done? My God. They give him Bruno Silva. Like, all right, he has that unanimous decision. Like, yeah, it wasn't great. Then they give him Sean Strickland. How great is that win now? Remember, former champ. And then the UFC goes, we got to get him up there because he might lose. I get it. And remember, Alex was not a fan of mine. He went on aerial and was like, oh, Schaub talking this shit, saying, I'm going to lose, blah, blah, blah. I get it. That's fair. I'd be upset too. I went, it's a perfect matchup for him. He fights anybody else in the top 10, he's going to lose. Yeah, I was wrong. Dead wrong. Didn't know what I was dealing with. I've seen a lot of guys. I'm not going to say I've seen a lot of guys. I've seen guys that come up like that and get favorable matchups and they fizzle away. But Alex is a special human being, special fighter. So they give him Sean Strickland, starches him. Like, all right, that's a perfect matchup. Again, to UFC's defense, they go, like, one of the reasons we brought him in, because Izzy's been destroying everybody. He's lapped the entire division. We need fresh meat. Let's get Alex in there. Everyone's, oh, what the hell? After just 2 fights? And he beats Izzy. And then they run it back. And this is how special Izzy is. He knocks out Alex Pereira. How great does that knockout look now? That's also one of my favorite moments in UFC history. After covering this for over 10 freaking years, being involved in it damn near 15 now, he knocked out Alex Pereira. How freaking great does that look now on Izzy's resume? One of my favorite to ever do it. Another guy. Kids, can you look up to him? Yes, don't paint your nails though. You can look up to him. And so then Alex loses to Izzy, right? He loses to Izzy. And then jumps to light heavyweight. You're like, oh my God, what is he doing? This is insane. Jan? What? And he beats Jan. And there was grappling. And we saw it go to decision. And that's light heavyweight. Then they give him Yuri. Like, all right, here we go. And this was the light heavyweight championship. And he TKOs him. And Yuri happens to be pretty damn good. He beat Yuri at light heavyweight. And then they give him Jamal Hill. An assassin, and he starches Jamal Hill. And this is all in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights. 7 fights? You're a bona fide UFC Hall of Famer? Are you kidding me? Again, I think because with social media and we move on to the next fight and you're only as good as your last fight, I get all that, but I don't think, especially people that are recently, jumping on board with the UFC and you see all these influencers at the fights and comics who couldn't name 5 fighters, all good. I get all that. You guys don't realize what you're witnessing. Again, what would the DraftKings odds be if when Alex decided to start fighting MMA, I told you that he not only was going to get to the UFC, but he was going to beat several champions, and not only be a middleweight champion, but be a light heavyweight champion and probably get a shot at heavyweight championship. What would the odds be? Plus 40,000? And I know I exaggerate, but it would be something in that area. At least plus 20,000. That's how special this is. But we're used to guys jumping divisions and doing this thing, but what Alex done in a short amount of time, it will never be done ever again. But what people are doing is they're going, oh, that was cool. What's the next one? I need you to stop and acknowledge what Max and Alex did this past weekend. You have to. Otherwise, you're a bona fide fucking casual. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe you're into other sports. I get that. But if you're going to jump in this pool, I need you to stop and not just, like an Instagram post. I need you to realize what happened on Saturday night will never happen again. And the chance of it happening again, you have a better chance of seeing fucking 4 shooting stars in one fucking night. That's how rare this is. I think shooting stars are rare. What a horrible example. I was on one too. Shooting stars. Check the odds of seeing a shooting star, because me and my sons go in the hot tub every night and they always ask for a shooting star. Tiger's 8, Boston's 4. We haven't seen one in 8 years. It has to be pretty rare.
What's it say?
It depends where you live. It's funny. It depends where you live, but this says, ready for this? Oh my God, what a horrible example. I wish I thought of something else. It says roughly half a ready for this? It's going to ruin my argument. It says roughly half a dozen can be seen every hour.
Oh, that's funny.
Not in LA, man. Maybe it's the smog.
Definitely not in LA.
Hey, it says, how often can you see a shooting star? On any given night, depending on your luck, you can spot between 1 and 2 shooting stars per hour. All right. So it's not as rare.
We know it's rare.
Yeah. That's good that you caught it, though. You as soon as you said it, you caught it. You're like,
Yeah.
Let's see.
I was on a rant there. I was on a rift. Sometimes, you think something special and, maybe it's because I'm in LA. I'm in the hot tub looking up. I don't see him. When I went to Montana, didn't see it there. Maybe I have bad eyes. Apparently it happens nonstop. The point is, you have to acknowledge how rare that is. You're more likely to see a World Series knockoff Grand Slam than you are these two doing what they did. That's how special it is. And you just got to stop and acknowledge that. That's all I'm asking. It's a rarefied air. And again, all professional sports are tough. All professional sports are tough. I think there's ever in the UFC's 2,500 fighters? 2,500.
2,500?
Ever.
That's for the year, though.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right now it's 578, but I think ever's 2,500. I saw some breakdown. They were doing breakdowns of like knockouts and stuff like that. 2,500 in the world. 6 billion people. In the history, there's been 2,500. To do what they do is so rare. You're talking about 1%ers of 1%ers of what they're doing. That's how special it is. Let's take another little break. Keep the lights on and feed the boys. Feed the birds. This episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by Cage Supplements, an elite supplement brand. If you're not elite, these aren't for you. These are for people that want to put the best product in their body and feel completely optimized with the best stuff on the planet. They're third-party tested for banned substances, NSF Informed Sports Certified. That's what separates Cage, the clean formulas. Whether UFC fighter, NFL, MLB, off-road racer, F1 racer, whatever you do, you got to make sure you're not getting busted, all right? And that's why Cage got you covered. No colors or flavors from artificial sources, not never. Patented key ingredients, never generic alternatives, like their pure organic caffeine instead of synthetic caffeine, awful for you. All right, my favorite products, the Pre-Workout Elite. Bro, you will see your Lord and Savior if you take this stuff, and you will minimum be able to bench 2,000 pounds. I can't prove that, but try it out. Prove me wrong. Their Hydration Elite is like nothing you've ever tried. Protein tastes incredible. All right, and you're talking about ultra filtered 100% isolate protein. The Mindset Elite, that's what you want. The Mindset freaking Elite, it has a gold label on it. The regular Mindset, it's good. Mindset Elite, again, if you're ready to conquer the day and get the same IQ as Elon Musk, it's the Mindset Elite, all right? Supports your focus. It's great for podcasting, reading, everyday life. I do it every single morning. It's how I start my mornings with Mindset Elite. Is the best of the best. You want to talk about nootropics? Try it out, dude, and get back to me. They work, and the science speaks for itself. All right? Disclaimer here. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Go to caged.com, Kaged.com. Use the code SHAUB for 20% off all the stuff I just told you about. The Mindset Elite, Pre-Workout Elite, everything. Protein, we got you covered. Caged.com, promo code SHAUB. You're welcome. Oh, this one is a special one. This episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by Safety Shot. You ever been with your boys, right? And you're hanging out, and they're like, let's do another round. You're like, I can't. I got early morning. Maybe your son has a baseball game at 8:30. Maybe you just got to get up and with the kids and get going. It's a Sunday, and you were out the night before. And you're like, I'm going to take it easy tonight, boys. And oh, boo, you always do this. Well, now what if I told you, have that drink? You're like, what? This is crazy. I know. That's where Safety Shot comes in. The world's first alcohol detoxifier that reduces blood alcohol content in as little as 30 minutes. Have that drink with the boys. Have that drink with your girl on date night. When you're at the bar, go ahead and take that one down. Don't be the guy everyone makes fun of it anymore. No, you can have that drink and you take a safety shot. 30 minutes. All it takes is less than 30 minutes. It reduces your blood alcohol content. You're good, baby. You're good. You're not that guy anymore. Extend the night with your boys. Extend the night with your lady. Have that drink on me. It gives you a sharper mind and body. Liver support. Safety shot reduces your blood alcohol level and its effects. All right. It has a ton of stuff in it. Specific ingredients in safety shot have been shown to provide antioxidant, immune inflammation, detoxification support. They got you covered, man. This stuff is good for you, and it lets you continue to have fun. Go into overtime. Don't cut your night early. Go into overtime. It has great hydration. When to drink it? Well, when you're overserved at the pregame, all right? You're getting ready for the game. They keep giving it to you like, oh, man, I don't know. I've been waiting for this game all day. Cool. Safety shot. When you start feeling a little overserved at the Christmas party, the holiday Christmas party, don't get fired because you get drunk. Pull your pants down at the Christmas party. Don't be that guy. Take a safety shot. All right? Going to happy hour, we got you covered. Making an extra happy hour. All right? Last shot of the night, don't be the guy who leaves early they make fun of. Now you can do that stuff. That's right. And the next morning, you'll be a better dad, you'll be a better person, you feel fresh, and you attack the day. Do you need any more convincing? All right? Just go to drinksafetyshot.com. That's drinksafetyshot.com. Use the code Brendan, not Brandon Starbucks. It's Brendan. Again, not Brandon. God damn it. It's Brendan, and you get 10% off. Go to drinksafetyshot.com, promo code Brendan. You're welcome. So, yeah, Alex wants to go to heavyweight and fight Aspinall or John. You do it. Who are we to limit them? Max Holloway wants to fight Makhachev. You do it. You freaking do it. Max Holloway wants to fight Conor 170. You fucking do it. They've earned it. Especially Max Holloway. You do it. He's earned it. Look at his body of work. He's earned it. I would even go to say you owe it to him. You're going to do what he wants to do. If it's fight to appear, win, lose, or draw, you give him Conor at 170. And you figure out the negotiation with fucking Conor and you get it done. You owe it to him. You owe it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for Arman, turn down the fight. Turn down the let's change gears here. Arman turned down the fight. Right after the fight, which is rare. I guess Mick Maynard went up to him and offered him the title
right
shot.
after the fight. Yeah.
It's always weird right after the fight, right?
There you go.
I'm surprised he didn't take it, though.
Because it's really soon after. So it's June 1st, was it? Yeah, June 1st. So they're saying it's just too soon. Because he just fought.
I'll say this. And just historically. Now, the best thing for Arman is to turn it down and get a date and have a proper training camp. I get all that. Historically, and the way this business works, you fucked up. Now you're going to be disciplined. And this isn't me. I want Arman to have a full camp and fight him in August or whenever he thought was justified. That's how it should work. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, the way this business is ran, historically, by historically I mean every fucking time, when you turn down a title shot, you piss them off. And now you're going to be punished. Punished how? You're going to have to fight one more, and it's going to be a tough one. And you eat your way out through Charles Oliveira. If that was 5 rounds, you probably would have lost. And you're going to pass up a title shot? You got out by a fucking thread, Bubba. You got out by a thread. One of those rounds, if it was longer, he would have snapped your arm. That first round, that guillotine would have submitted most guys. He got out of it. Charles is dangerous for 25 minutes. That's a 5-round fight. I would bet money on Charles to beat him, even in a rematch. And you're gonna pass up a title shot? Oh, you guys don't know how it works. Oh, that's hilarious. Very cool. Well, your next fight, Arman, again, I'm with you. I wish they would have offered to and say, when will you be ready? And they would have done it. That's how it should work. I'm with you, dude. All I'm saying is now is what's going to happen to you. And I know how they work. I just do. What's going to happen to you is they will probably give you not a lot of options. You might have made the right choice. Because Justin's coming off a loss.
It's like a shooting star.
This is like a shooting star here. Because Justin's coming off a loss. You can't do that. Dustin Poirier has a title shot now.
He's got a
Gamrot, he's already fought. Chandler has a fight against Conor, so he's out. Dariush, he's beat. You got Fiziev, you got Hooker. I could see him doing Hooker.
That's so low, though.
Not, but I'm telling you.
Yeah. And Hooker's super tough, so yeah, I don't know.
I could see him giving Justin Gaethje. Justin's ranked higher than he is currently. Who knows tomorrow when the rankings come out. I could see him discipline him, give him Justin. Saying, cool, you're going to fight Gaethje now. It's a tough fucking fight for him. Here's a pissed off Justin Gaethje. Oh, and you're wrestling? Homeboy can wrestle. All-American. I know he doesn't look like it. Trust me, motherfucker can wrestle. He just doesn't have to. He chooses not to. Motherfucker can wrestle. So you might get Justin Gaethje now. Come off a loss. Because I want to keep you active, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the discipline. That's what I think happens. Hopefully not. Again, I'm with Arman. Smart thing to do, turn down, wait till you have full camp and you feel prepared. That's how this should work. It doesn't, though. You're probably fighting Justin Gaethje in October. Depending on how that goes, you might get a shot next year. You fucked up. Again, historically.
You should always take the title shot.
Every single time. If they offered it next week, you should take it. Again, it's impossible to get a title shot. You have to take it at all cost. Again, it shouldn't work this way. He should have been like, oh, that's dope, man. And they should have went, we want you to have the next title shot. You beat Charles in 3 rounds. We think 5 would be in trouble. Whatever. You beat him in 3. When are you ready? He goes, August, let's do it in September. Then went, September it is. That's how this should have went. But that's not the way the business is ran. They offered it to you. You turned it down. You can be punished. You're probably fighting Justin Gaethje next. That's how it goes. Mm-hmm. Let me see the rest of the card. Bo, like I told you before, they got to give him a top 15 guy now because everybody's freaking tough. Yuri, in any other case, if there was a different champion, if Jamal would have won, Yuri would have got the title shot. Unfortunately for Yuri, his fight against Alex is recent, and that won't be next for him. Let me see the light heavyweight rankings.
Oh, there it is.
Ankalaev, we just got it. UFC smart, they know what they're doing. But again, that's not a walk in the park for Magomed Ankalaev either. Like, I know it's wrestling, but he does fancy himself a striker these days. Good luck. But that wrestling-wise, if he wanted to, it could suck. From an entertainment standpoint and marketing standpoint, that could suck. Jamal Hill, I bet, gets Rakic next. Yuri, ready for this? Yuri, depending what the champ does. So if Alex goes to heavyweight, well, that'd be pretty soon too, but he's not getting Alex next. So let's say if Alex didn't go to heavyweight and didn't make the Brazil card, you could do Alex versus our boy Khalil Roundtree. And if Alex or if Pierre goes to heavyweight, you could do Yuri versus Roundtree. You guys like that? Roundtree deserves it. Come on. He gave me some fire-ass shoes, too.
Yuri and Roundtree sounds like a badass fight.
What about Roundtree Alex?
Yeah. Strikers, yeah.
Too soon?
But I think Roundtree needs to do some more work, I think.
Hater.
Not hater. I love him.
Go back to
I
the
think he's
card.
awesome.
Let me see the card again. Aljo got it done. He got it done. Go to featherweight rankings. Aljo would be Calvin. Again, not going to win the UFC brass over, right? Like, all right. But he got it done. Looked great. I think this is probably a better weight class for him. I think he's more dangerous, less compromised because of the weight cut.
They usually update on Tuesday, so we're not going to see it today.
I like Arnold Allen for him. Ivalov would be interesting. Not the funnest fight, but that'd be interesting. Arnold Allen, Josh Emmett. He has some fun ones now. Because he beat Calvin, so they're going to put him at 8.
Wait, so he's hold on.
He's featherweight. What are you looking for, Chin?
Nothing.
So he beat the number 8 guy. So let's say he jumps to 8. Him and Bryce Mitchell's fun. Josh Emmett's fun. Arnold Allen's good. Ivalov, I'd like to see the competition. Could be pretty boring. Brian Ortega would be the home run. Go ahead and take Brian down. Let me know how it goes for you. T-City? You know what T-City stands for, Chin?
Triangle City.
Boom.
Yeah. I think he did call up. Yeah, he did.
He did call out Ortega?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and former champ. Again, the UFC depends what they want to do with him because that fight didn't blow your hair back entertainment-wise. I thought it was a great performance, but
Yeah,
he
he
wants
said-
Brian Ortega. That's what he should do.
Yeah.
Again, former champ. You owe it to him. He shouldn't have to go through the queue and fight 7, 8, 5, 4. No, let him go Ortega because he's rarefied air. He deserves it. One of the best 35ers ever do it. You got to give him that. I like that. Kayla Harrison
Oh yeah.
looked phenomenal.
She's
She's going to be a problem.
Dominated,
And what
yeah.
I like, because female MMA right now, they don't have a huge star. Kayla can be that. Again, I have a daughter. Who can she look up to? Kayla's one you can look up to. Holly Holm was one you can look up to, longer in the tooth. Amanda Nunes, someone you can look up to, longer in the tooth. But female MMA doesn't have that stop what you're doing by the pay-per-view star right now. Kayla can be that.
Yeah.
And especially, she's also the one that can get her former training partner, Amanda Nunes, out of bed and back in the gym. And that's a big boy fight.
Yeah. And then
And again, for Kayla, we don't need another whatever you want to do with it. We don't need that shit. Title right away. You do, if Amanda Nunes says she's down, I'm calling her today going, how serious are you? You're down? We could use it. And what'd she say here?
It's a weird video, but it's basically because Amanda is retired, right? But she posted this video after Kayla won and saying like, well, I'll just play this live.
Is anybody in here betting on Max Holloway? No.
What the fuck?
É por isso que eu estou aqui. Apenas uma coisa, eu quero dizer. Também pode ser a Raquel.
I don't get what this is.
Oh, well, she's watching the fight like we do, but it's in Portuguese.
Não vai chover!
Yeah.
What is she saying there?
Shama?
What's that mean?
Shama in Portuguese.
So I'm sorry. Does that mean she wants to?
Flame? Fire?
So she wants fire like the whole card was fire, or that doesn't give me. Oh, I'm coming back, getting out of bed on
But I
retiring.
mean, she posted
vibes.
that. She posted on her,
I mean, that's the fight.
yeah.
Or Pena. That's the fight. Like big boy numbers. Amanda Nunes comes out of retirement, fights her former training partner, and they've trained together. Amanda knows what's up there, so she'd be like,
I thought they
can
were
beat
homies,
her."
yeah. I thought they were like-
They used to be.
Yeah.
Let me see the rest of the card.
Here we go.
Diego Lopez, Jesus Christ, that kid showed up, huh?
Yeah.
Renato, Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner had the walk-off knockout, and then it was weird.
He messed up, yeah.
I know.
He didn't finish. And then, dude, kind of got dropped, I think, twice or
I
something
know.
like that. Yeah, so, but then he finished.
Takedown offense trouble. Bobby Green, fucking disrespectful.
Oh, my God.
UFC 300, disrespectful what you did to him.
His,
We love Bobby Green here, but disrespectful.
Yep.
Poor Jim Miller.
Miller's face was like a mess.
Figueredo, Cody Garbrandt. Again, I know Cody, tough, impossible fight for him. Looked pretty good in the first round, There's more life there. Fun card overall. What do you got, Jim?
So let's go to. So this, I thought this was funny. Like the press conference before the fights, everyone was saying like, is there gonna be an announcement for Conor versus Chandler? He's like, that's all BS from the internet, whatever. And then
He
of
announced
course,
it. He announced it
after
at the press conference.
Exactly.
Someone handed
So
him a
it's funny.
crumpled piece of paper. He's like, Conor, Chandler, Dustin, and Makhachev.
Yep. Yeah.
Like-
So that was just funny to me. I don't know. He's like, yeah, that's all internet BS. They always do this, but it did get announced.
Yeah, it's like the UFC. Like you look at they got better. The UFC promo for UFC 300 got better, but you look at the post for UFC 300, the announcement for Conor coming back, especially after this massive successful movie he's had.
Yeah, and Strickland Costa, which is great.
Strickland Costa got done. I went on that whole rant on fighting the kid, how Strickland fucked up, started mentioning money. The UFC went, come here, stop, but stop.
Yeah.
We're not going to do this. Because I don't know if you've looked at your recent contract that you signed, but in the contract, do you guys know this? In UFC contracts now, since that whole antitrust lawsuit, now in the contracts, it says, this is real. This isn't me, conspiracy, this is legit. In the contract, it says, you cannot sue them or go after them for fighter pay moving forward.
Oh my gosh.
So for Strickland, like, what are you doing? It doesn't matter. All what you're doing, bringing up fighter pay and all this stuff, saying we don't pay you enough, all it's doing is going to make us not give you any fights, and then you can't do anything about it. So play ball. Here's a little bit more money, but you're not champ. So play ball, otherwise you're out. You play ball. Again, which he should. That's a smart thing to do. The fighter pays argument, all that stuff, that's over. As for a fighter now to be vocal about it is straight up stupid. Again, not my doing. I'm with you. I've taken many of hits, being very vocal about fighter pay, very vocal about it,
Yeah, you were.
and it's done nothing. All it has is hurt my career, but it's what is the right thing to do at the time. But anybody like Luke Thomas, Ariel, notice UFC don't fuck with us. As far as names in the sport that cover the sport. Look at the people that cover the sport, that have a following in the sport, that have been around it for 10 plus years, that provide content. Knows how many of their tweets come up when the UFC posts the stuff. Knows how many invites they get when any UFC function or fights happen. Notice we don't get those calls. And here's my question, in hindsight, for what? Because we talked about fighter pay, and I'd say to all those gentlemen, was it worth it? Looking back on it, and you look at the antitrust lawsuit, the fighters didn't want it. But then we were the ones that suffered the consequences. Was it worth it? I would say no. Now, I'm different because when they signed the Reebok deal, I was able to transition and move on with my career, not get hit anymore. So I'm glad Dana did that. I have no animosity towards him. Love the guy. Absolutely condone everything he stands for. Love the guy. But for the fight stuff, the fighter pay, for all those guys that have taken their lumps like me, and it's cost, a lot of relationships, a lot of money, lost sponsors, lost access to fighters, lost access to managers. I'd have managers call me and go, man, we want to have them on, but the UFC's, they're not happy, man. I'm like, fuck. My question would be, was it worth it? If you knew this is how it's going to end, that you weren't going to make a single difference, was it worth it? Different question than was it the right thing to do? That's completely different. My question to those gentlemen was it worth it? In hindsight now, with antitrust lawsuit, they settled in the contract now. It says fighters cannot come after the UFC for fighter pay anymore. The game is over. There's nothing we can do. There's no reason to bring it up. Was it worth it? I would say no. I can't attend UFC events. And I love the UFC.
But you don't want to go anyway, right?
I would go. It hurts my feelings.
All right.
I'm like the nerdy kid at prom that, you know, didn't get a date. I'm like, I don't like the prom. I love the UFC. I bleed UFC. It's all I cover. One of the reasons I left Showtime is because they wanted me to cover Bellator. I went, I can't. They go, we thought you liked MMA. I go, I do, but only UFC and one championship. Can't cover Bellator. Can't. Didn't want to. I have no passion for it.
Yeah, seeing you at a UFC event would be almost as rare as seeing, I don't know, 4 shooting stars at once.
Dude, facts. What else you got?
This is just announced. So Anthony Pettis is going to be fighting or boxing Chris Avila at Jorge Masvidal's.
Are they still doing it at the Forum?
It's going to be at the Kia Forum, yeah. The Kia
It's
Forum.
at the Forum.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Because I know there's an issue with the dates because with the UFC, they also have a big one that weekend, you know? So
Yeah.
I know there's an issue there, but that's cool they figured it out.
June 1st, yeah.
Love me some Anthony Pettis.
He's awesome. And also Ian Machado, he says that he actually signed a contract for fighting Colby Covington, but Colby has not responded yet. So I'll just play this clip
Bet he
real quick.
will. Colby excited.
What's up, everyone? It's Tuesday, the 9th of April at 1:10, and I just want to let everyone know I have agreed the fight with Colby Covington. There is a date
it.
in place.
Love it.
Colby still hasn't signed the contract.
I would assume June, International Fight Week.
What's up, everyone? It's
Could you wear a little more Irish gear, though? Could you? Does it always have to be Brazil?
Yeah, I don't know the actual date, but that's what he said.
Take my money. Great fight. Phenomenal fight. Phenomenal.
Alrighty. This I thought was because Henry Cejudo went hardcore into this, so he's like, John Jones should sue that that tester, the drug tester, and he called her like the C word,
A
just show
crook?
you- Huh?
He called her a crook?
No,
A different C word?
4-letter C
What's it
word.
rhyme with?
Punt.
Okay. He goes, if I'm you, John Jones, you know what I would do? I would go for defamation of character. I would get her for being a two-faced bunt and trying to come at you for something you really didn't do. I think if anything, John, you should probably start fighting this and go against them. Make them think twice before they start bringing up your name. Make them think twice before they're going to make a story about, threaten to kill somebody or whatnot. Agree. Yeah, because it's done so much damage and all the headlines just assume John's, because obviously it's easy to go for him, right? Yeah, there's something to that. Depending, how true John is about the situation.
But I mean, the video was just like
The video's not enough, though. The video's not. There has to be cameras in the house, so because
Hopefully, yeah.
Because if he really never threatened her, never did any of that stuff, and she's coming out and saying this stuff, hell yeah, you sue. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah. All right. So there's apparently a new glove.
And I like this. I don't know about the new glove and the way it lays out with the preventing fingers in the freaking eye.
Yeah.
But I like the gold gloves, the blue gloves, the black gloves, so champions can wear the gold. Fuck lit.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously the whole like eye poke thing is like I would say one of the biggest things.
Oh, I prefer the color.
The eye poke thing is one of the biggest things, and then also it's supposed to protect your hand more. It's lighter, and it's going to be probably coming out for the June 1st UFC card, which I think is 302.
Because they've been doing it on Dana White Contender Series, though.
Oh, they have?
I don't know if they've been using the colors, but they've been using this glove.
Okay.
My question is, okay, it looks exactly the same, doesn't it? My question is, but different color. That's cool. My question is, if it protects your hand, do you still have to use wraps? It'd be lit if you don't have to wrap your hands anymore. If you just put the glove on, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And I always thought about like, I think I told you already, but the where it clamps on here?
The wrist?
The wrist area? You know how like people can grab the glove? Like, why don't they just put tape
They
there
do.
so you can't?
They do. There's tape. There's tape over like where the strap is. There's always tape there.
So how do they grab the gloves then?
Because they grab it here. They grab it inside the glove. You never see anybody just grab that strap because guys grappling the strap coming off. They always have to go over.
Oh,
it.
okay.
What was a stupid comment? Yours there or the shooting stars?
They're both dumb.
Yeah, they're both really stupid.
So this is funny this is from Paradigm Sports, which is Connor's
This
management.
is great.
Yeah. They just posted this. This is Connor basically picking out Michael Chandler from like one of those stupid games that, the claw game.
No, my kids
which
always want
it's
me to win
impossible
it.
to win.
Oh, my kids always want me to win when I'm like, let me just buy you the goddamn toy. This thing's
I know.
it's a fraud, dude. It's a conspiracy. This graphic's so good. The UFC would never use this, right? But Paradigm Sports knocked it out the park.
Yeah, it was good.
So cool. They're like, you're up.
All right, so as far as fights this weekend, there's a UFC card, but it's not great.
Now here's the thing. For a man who makes a living off covering the UFC,
Yeah.
the views are going to be low till about June
For this
1st
one, yeah.
because the cards till then are tough. But we got to be grateful.
And this is at the
And I'll
Apex.
watch all of them top to bottom. But as far as my business goes, UFC, you fucked me. But boy, did you deliver on 299, 30, 300. Those were great. I'm very grateful. And I'll watch all the fight nights from top to bottom and probably talk about some of them. But it's the beak's going to be dry to that International Fight Week card. The beak is fucking dry because these cards coming up. Now, granted, don't complain. Because in those guys, those content creators, you can't complain. Because UFC 299 stacked, 300 stacked. This is one of the butterfly effects. They can't stack. There's not enough superstars to stack every card. So this is one of the byproducts. You need a lot of Apex, a lot of names you can't pronounce. Okay?
It's going to be a little long.
It's so bad till UFC.
It's a fight night.
UFC 302 is good. We just got to get through the month of May is so bad. The month of May is the worst group of fight cards I've ever witnessed. It's so bad. But we're going to get through it because June 1st, and thank God it's June 1st, not like June 7th, because all we got to do is get to June 1st, and then that thing's going to be tasty. They're still building that card, but that I'm telling you, June 1st is going to be tasty. And then after that, we're going red panty night because our boy Conor's back. And then you have that UFC fight night in Saudi Arabia, which is so fucking fire on the 22nd. And we're probably doing a fight companion with Mr. Joe Rogan for that one. You have Robert Whitaker, Hamzat, Kelvin Gastelum, Daniel Rodriguez, Magomedov, Johnny Walker, Ozdemir. So we just got to get through June, kids. Hang on. Because the plane, it looks, I know, if you're on this UFC plane, month of May, it's going like this because we've been riding high. And then it goes, turbulence, woo. You're like, no, we're going to crash. We're all going to die. That's the month of May. We're all going to die. And then as soon as June 1st gets there, it goes back to cruise altitude. And we got Wi-Fi. And we're watching some bomb-ass fights. That's all we need to do, baby. Get through May. That's all we got to do. Views are going to be low. Okay? I'll be honest with you. It's going to be terrible month of May. We'll get through it. Someone will fuck up somewhere and we'll be able to jump on it, you know? Real Housewives of the UFC, baby. We'll figure it out, guys. Don't be so sad in here. All right? Yeah, Saturday, April 20th, though, you got Haney versus Garcia.
You think it's going to happen, man?
I think it's going to happen, and I don't know what to tell you. Ryan Garcia is a buddy, and, you know, he's been on Companion. And
He was great, too, man.
he's such a nice kid, but there's something going on, to say the least. I don't know. I don't know who his team is, who his coaches are. Most coaches wouldn't let a fighter. They'd say, you know what? Let's wait till your mind's right, because he's talked about depression and mental health issues. Let's wait till that's right, because this is similar to Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill. Devin Haney fighting 100% focus, zero drama, zero conspiracy, zero social media chaos. Ryan Garcia, 100% Ryan Garcia, 100% Devin Haney. Ryan's still an underdog in that fight. Now add in the stuff he's been doing. He says Kanye West is going to walk him out.
Yes, he's posting a ton of stuff that's just like
like a bunch
insane.
of girls. It's tough. There's something going on there.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's not.
He said
fun.
he's also kind of like acting, but
This ain't it, bud.
Yeah.
You know, the day and age we live in where people are doing anything to get attraction, you know, on social, that ain't it as a professional. I love him though.
Yeah.
Great kid. I hope he figures out. Hopefully he's okay. I hate this fight for him. And again, even if he was 100%, I hate this fight for him. Now, kudos to him. He's the only guy in boxing really who's like, I shouldn't say that, but he's the only guy in boxing really who's like, I'll fight Gervonta Davis. I'll fight this guy. Like he's just down to fight whoever, you know, the Max Holloway vibes about him. But if mentally you're not 100% into it, Devin Haney's not the guy. Do that with somebody else. Devin Haney is so damn good.
Yeah.
You got our boy Rockhold fighting my boy Joe Schilling
Yep, you're
in
both
Karate
boys.
Combat. That's in Dubai. That'd be fun. I'll probably watch that. So you got some stuff to keep you afloat. Let's hope we get some more stuff in May. Don't even bring up that fight card this weekend.
I'm not doing it.
Don't even fucking do it.
I'm not doing it.
And for May, probably don't do those either. We'll figure it out. We always do. That's it, kids. Hopefully you enjoyed UFC 300. If you haven't watched the Calabasas Fight campaign, it's available right now on YouTube. It is a fun one. It's a good one. Mayhem, Dalia, Callan, myself. It is a fun time. Go and check it out on YouTube right now. And that's it, kids. I'm jumping straight from here. Jump on the Fire and the Kid. Brian owes me the total he's lost in the last few fights $6,000, but just for this fight $3,000. My Lightning, which I'm trying to convert to all carbon fiber, is powered by Brian Callen and his horrible picks on UFC. But I probably won't be able to get the carbon fiber fenders because there's nothing to bet on until June 1st. So Daddy's going to have to wait because my sugar daddy, Brian Callen, won't have anything to bet on. So again, UFC, come on, guys. All right. But hopefully you enjoyed the recap. Love you guys. Like, subscribe. That's it. I'm out. Shout out to Max Holloway. Greatest knockout of all time.